Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes just to allow all the participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started. We'll basically use this time. So it is not like we'll not be using this time while we are waiting for everyone to join. We'll be using this time firstly to understand how we will be conducting today's webinar. This is going to be a mix of presentation and a live demonstration as well. So wherever possible, I'll do the live demonstration, and for some parts to help you understand, I'll be using presentation as well. So that it will be a mix of presentation plus live demonstration. Now, certainly, this is going to be a very interactive webinar because this is where your inputs are extremely valuable, and that will help you understand the problem or challenges that I'm going to share with you, which may be preventing you from getting the desired response or the desired results from your digital catalog, right? That can be true with you. So that's where it is going to be an interactive website. So I'll seek your inputs for most of the points that we'll be discussing. I'll be seeking your opinions as well, so that you can also understand the core message that I'm trying to convey to you, the basic understanding about why any suggestion or any problem that I'm highlighting, why it is important. And obviously, I'll also guide you in terms of how you can fix that issue. All right. So that's how we'll be conducting today's session. Now, a very important question that I always try to answer before we start the webinar, that what is this, or who is the audience, or for whom are we conducting this webinar, and what is the benefit, and what can you do after this webinar using the information that we are providing to you. So this webinar is for any business owner that is wanting to grow their business digitally. And I think in today's day and age, there is no argument around whether you should grow your business digitally or whether you should leverage digital channels to grow your business, whether you are into B2B or whether you are into B2C. It is important, it is relevant to all types of business. Sorry. So it is for everyone, every business owner that is self-driven and wants to grow their business. Now, what is the outcome? What is the result that you're going to get in today's webinar? So the result is definitely an understanding about the most crucial aspects which may be preventing your business. If you have already created the website, if have already put in the effort and you're not getting the results. So uh, there may be a scenario that there may be one of the challenge which I'm going to highlight in today's session, maybe preventing you from achieving the desired result. So you'll be getting an understanding, you'll be gaining some knowledge in today's session. Now, what can you do with that knowledge? So you'll be able to use that knowledge to upgrade or update your digital catalog so that you can start getting leads, orders, inquiries, etc. from your digital catalog, right? So you'll be able to, in simple words, you'll be able to fix if there are any issues on your digital catalog using the information that I'm going to provide to you in today's session. All right. So that is something I thought of sharing with you before we get before we begin today's session. All right. So this is where I think we have waited enough. So this is where we'll get started. I will just quickly take a few seconds to just move chat and Q&A to the other monitor. So if you find me during the session, if you find me looking to the side, it is where I'm just looking at the other monitor where I am going to uh, position both Q&A and chat. So I will need just few seconds to do that. All right, so I've done that. Now, before I start sharing my screen and we get started with the presentation, uh, there are a few important points that I would want to clarify. One is if there's anything which is not clear to you, certainly you would want to get that clarified from me. How can you do that? So there are two options which you can use. The preferred one, if you want to ask me a question, then the preferred one will be Q&A. So down below, if you're joining through a laptop or desktop, you'll see down below there's an option which says Q&A. So you should use that option. Technically, you can add your question in the chat, and if I happen to look at it, I'll try to answer that as well. But a lot of time, there's a lot of exchange happening in the chat, so there may be a scenario that I may overlook at it, and you may not get a response, right? So it is better to add that in Q&A. But we will also be using chat, so we'll be using chat for our interaction for me seeking inputs from your side. All right. You can also use chat for networking with other wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today in this session. So you can start sharing about your business. So where are you located? What product or services you deal in? And if you have a digital catalog, if you have a website, then you should or you must add the link as well. God knows you may be able to find a buyer or supplier in today's session, right? So please do that as well. Now I'm going to start sharing my screen and we will very quickly get started. So in next few seconds, you'll start seeing my screen and then we will begin with today's session. So just give me a few more seconds and we will begin the screen share. And let me hide this so that it is not obstructing your view. It will certainly not obstruct my view, but it will obstruct your view. So that's why I have minimized the control bar as well. So it is you're getting the full screen visibility. All right, so this is where let's begin. So once again, good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. Today's webinar is very, very interesting and important one as well because over the years, I had been regularly interacting with business owners, and one problem that I have noticed that yes, business owners are genuinely putting in effort to create their digital catalog, but there are few mistakes here and there that they are making. That is majorly because of their of lack of understanding, and that's why they are not getting the desired results or they're not getting the results from their effort. And obviously it is a very disheartening thing as well when you are putting in effort, when you're spending your time and energy and you're not getting the results. It is quite disheartening and I don't want that to happen with you. So that's where we are conducting this webinar, and we will be conducting more such webinars where we'll be doing much more deep dive sessions and we'll be helping you understand the various factors which can prevent. So this is where we are starting with the basics. We will go to the marketing level as well in future. So let's get started with the basics. All right, so let's get started. Hope you can see my screen. If anyone from the audience can confirm if you can see my screen, that will be helpful. You can add that and type yes in the chat. I have visibility on the chat on the other side. So thanks, Varsha. Thanks, Bert. And there are a number of other members. Twinkle, Sony, thanks. Who have confirmed. So I can't name everyone, but thank you everyone for confirming that you are able to see my screen. All right, so let's begin. As I mentioned, this is going to be a mix of presentation and live demonstration as well. So first slide is obviously about me. I'm not sure how many of you had the chance to attend any of my previous webinars. So that's where let me give a customary quick introduction about myself. My name is Adnan. I am Director SME E-commerce Growth at Global Inker. And my functional or my focus area at Global Inker is digital commerce. But in addition to my functional or my focus area or my functional responsibilities at Global Inker, I also actively conduct various training sessions and webinars just to help business owners understand how they can use digital and technology in today's day and age to grow their business. Because I am a believer in a philosophy that thankfully, because of the advancement on digital and technology has no longer become a challenge, or it is no longer a challenge because there is ample amount of technology or digital resources which are available, digital tools which are available, which can be used to grow business, and anyone and everyone can do that. And we have like so many examples where very small businesses are using digital tools very effectively and they're growing their business very rapidly. But that's where, when it comes to micro and small businesses, obviously they are challenged by a number of other reasons, and that's where it becomes difficult for them to grow digitally because they don't know how to use digital technology, right? So technology is no longer the challenge. The challenge is how to use it to your benefit. That is the bigger challenge, and that's where we conduct so many training sessions and webinar to help you understand how you can use the technology. And as part of that initiative, I've conducted more than 450 such sessions. I've stopped counting, so it is more than 450. Don't know the exact come number. And I had the wonderful opportunity of connecting and interacting with more than 12,000 businesses in various countries. So that is a quick introduction about myself. Now let's begin. And firstly, we are going to understand about the digital catalog. So, digital catalog, in case you are unaware, it is basically a website, but a website with capabilities to showcase your product and services. And also, it can help you generate leads or orders in case you want to do B2C. So, it can also generate orders. So, that is a digital catalog. Now, what are the problems? What are the mistakes which can prevent you or which are preventing you? It is like you may have already created your digital catalog and you may have been experiencing, or these mistakes may be already impacting your digital catalog. All right. So let's begin. So the first one is not uploading products individually. Now it may sound a little confusing. So this is where, just bear with me for a second and I'll show you what I'm intending to say. So I've just switched the slide, and this is where we are looking at one product. So the product is obviously spices, and this is where we can see Indian spice and nothing other than that. And then I'm going to take you to another slide, and that's where you have different spices like cumin, coriander, etc., etc. Right? So individually, each product is there. Now, this is sorry, one scenario, and this is the other scenario. So I'm saying that this is wrong and this is right. Now, why am I saying this? Understand, firstly, when you are doing this kind of an activity where what happened, right? So once when you're doing this kind of an activity where instead of uploading individual products, you have just decided to upload one product which represents the entire spices. So this is where if I'm not sugarcoating it, why have you even done this, right? So that would have been my reaction, right? Why have you even done this? Because this is as good as not doing it. This is as good as not creating the digital catalog, because this is where you're limiting yourself. This is like you're stepping on the axe, the proverb, right? So कुल्हाड़ी पे पैर मारना वाली चीज. So this is like that. So this is where you're limiting your discoverability. This is where your chances of getting discovered are getting limited, and this is where you can test it yourself. Like go to Google keyword planner or any keyword research tool and try to search for Indian spices and then vis-a-vis the other spices, and you'll find that there is very, very limited search which is happening for Indian spices as compared. Black pepper happens to be a very searched product, or cumin happens to be a very searched product, or coriander happens to be a very searched product, right? So people are searching for coriander, they're searching for black pepper, and you haven't uploaded them, you haven't like put in the effort of uploading them, and that's where obviously you are missing out on everything, right? I hope I'm able to explain to you the criticality of the situation. This is as good as not creating the real catalog. This is absolute waste of effort. So, and obviously, I have used the presentation because I didn't want it to like demean anyone. So that's why I'm just using a screenshot from a website. This is actually a website, someone's website from where I've taken the screenshot. So the point which is important for you to understand is that if you have products, you have to put in the effort, you have to upload individual products, because if you are not doing that, that is where you are limiting your discoverability. Now, discoverability may sound like a fancy term, but in simple common man's language, for someone will have to firstly find you to do business with you. If they are not able to find you, they'll not be able to do business with you. That is plain, simple, clear, right? So if you are not uploading products individually, in that case, you are not getting discovered. So they'll not be able to find you. And if they're not able to find you, they'll not be able to do business with you. So that is why it is crucial. So this is where if any one of you has done a similar kind of a thing, and this for spices, you may have done it for agriculture, like all vegetable, you have put them together, or all fruits, you have put them together. That is absolutely suicidal for you in the digital landscape, in the digital realm. You shouldn't do that. So upload each product individually. How you can upload the products, obviously there's a lot of tutorial content available, and if you want, I can share the links of relevant tutorial videos as well. If required, I can do that. But that's where content is available, so we'll not be going into the process how you can upload the product. That is, obviously we have the content, and we have other important topics for discussion, so we'll not be spending your valuable time there. But I hope this point is clear with everyone. If anyone has any doubts related to this particular point, you can add that in the Q&A. We'll just wait for a minute, so that the important point is, or I don't want any of you to make this mistake. And if you have already made this mistake, then you have to just fix it like this. So instead of having just one product, you'll have multiple product. Simply and simple. That's what you have to do that. All right. So I don't see a question in Q&A. So that's where I'm assuming that it is all clear, and we'll move to the second mistake. The second mistake is not adding product title, proper product title. What does that mean? So this is where, again, I'll be showing you an example. This is one product's example that we are looking at. So this is a sari, and it is George's sari. Whereas if you're looking at the other example, this is where you can see it is more descriptive. So it is a handloom silk sari with zari, with border, with rich pallu, etc., etc. Right? So there's a lot of information which is described, which helps you understand. Right? So when you're comparing the two products, this one and the other one, that's where obviously just reading the product title, just forget the image, just ignore the image and ignore everything which is here. Just read the product title. You will have a better understanding about the product reading a more descriptive title as compared to just one word title. And that is extremely important. It is also important, and this is something which you'll like you may not be able to relate to. Why product title is extremely important is not just because it is easy to read, or when I'm reading the product title, I'm able to understand about the product, but it has a great impact on the search engine optimization. How does? And then that search engine optimization links back with our challenge of discoverability. That is people finding you. How does it relate to it? So the title that you're getting, or the title that you're putting here, this title, it is also part of the URL. So you have to add all the keywords here, and all those keywords will get added to the URL. This URL, both of them will have an impact on the search engine ranking, right? So that is where it is important that you should name the product properly. One of the thumb rules, now you have AI tools also these days which you can use, but a uh, very well laid out thumb rule that you can use is that you can include. So for example, it is a sari, so it is sari plus, so it is embroidered sari. So you can see elegant is just an adjective, but a handloom embroidered silk sari, and then they have added specifications to it. And if you want to get an example or a real life example of how this thumb rule or this principle is used, you can visit any marketplace, whether Flipkart or Amazon, and that's where you'll see how the product title are structured. So they'll add all the specifications of the product or features of the product in the product title itself. Now you may be thinking like, why are they doing that? Obviously, they are not foolish. They're doing it for two purposes. One is to help the customers understand the product in a better way. So just looking at the product title, you'll be able to understand like almost 80% of the product. And second is search engine ranking, the discoverability. So it has a significant impact on the discoverability as well, people finding you. So that's where please put in a little effort uh, and create a product title. Now, earlier we were looking at a spice example. Now, just if it was black pepper, so you can name your product as black pepper, or you can name your product as black pepper and then Malabar. So there's some grading, Malabar grading. So you can add that Malabar grading, M1, M2, etc. Right? So you can add the specification that it is M2 graded black pepper, which is available with us. So like that, or basmati rice, you have 1152 basmati rice. So those kind of specifications can be added to make the title more better in terms of readability as well as discoverability. When you're doing that, you can also consider doing little keyword research and using the relevant keyword which are related to your product. Obviously, I'm not encouraging that you should add all the keywords and then make the product title very confusing. You shouldn't do that. But the most important ones, you should consider adding them as well. I can see there's a question related to the, can we use ChatGPT's AI tool for creating product title and description? Yes, you can do that. The only thing that you have to uh, be cautious of when you're using AI tool is that you have to provide. So when you're asking ChatGPT, for example, to write a product title or description, so it will be asking a little description of the product. So in the description of the product, you have to ensure that you're adding all those specifications, you're adding all those keywords which are relevant, and based on that, ChatGPT will be creating. Yes, certainly. So that was Rupesh's question. Can we use AI tools? Yes, certainly you can do that. Another very useful method with AI tools is that, and that's where there are prompts which are available which you can use. So there is a plugin called Keywords Everywhere which you can use, and it will help you write the prompts. But one very effective method which I've seen and which works very, very well with both ChatGPT and Gemini is that you can ask it that I am going to ask you to create a product title, a SEO optimized product title. Ask me questions which will help you create it in the better way. So it will ask you 4 5 questions. You provide answers to those questions, and then the title or description which will get generated, it will be absolutely spot on. Right? So that is also something that you can consider doing. All right. So this is where we will move on to the next item or the next problem which may be impacting you, and that is not adding product description. So here again, I'm going to show you an example. This is a black pepper example, and this is where you can see in terms of description, only black pepper is written, whereas we are looking at other example is where like they have also given reasons why should they choose us, and they have also added a little description about the black pepper. So again, the point I think is quite obvious that you should add description. Now, if you're assuming that the other person is of the industry and just looking at the product title, they'll be able to understand. So why should we put in the effort, right? And this is also not something that I'm making out. This is something I'm telling from my interactions with the business owners. And I've seen or I've received this response that the other person, the international buyer, is very knowledgeable. Just looking at the product visuals or looking at the product name, they'll be able to understand. Well and good, point taken. But they have to first find you. By doing this, they'll not be able to find you because description has a significant impact on search engine optimization. Despite the fact that you have written a very good meta title or description, that is also something that we'll be discussing later. But this is the main content which is there on the product, and that will impact the product's discoverability. If you're not adding the description, that's where you're almost eliminating the chances of this product getting discovered. And if it is not getting discovered, the international buyer, the knowledgeable international buyer, when they are not able to find you, how will they look at the picture and understand, right? So please do add the description. Now, this is where again you have AI tools available these days which you can leverage. In fact, on Global Linker platform also, you will see there is a AI tool which is available which you can use to generate product title and description. Similarly, you can use ChatGPT or Gemini as well. In fact, I did a video some time back. It is available on our YouTube channel. I did few webinars also wherein I explain how you can use AI tools for generating product content, including title, description, or meta information. So the recordings are available on our YouTube channel. You can review that. In fact, if time permitted, I'll also share the recording wherein I explain how you can create this content using AI. All right. So the next point is not adding meta title and meta description. So firstly, what is meta title and meta description? This is where very quickly I'm going to switch my screen, and sorry, I'll just open a new window and we'll do a search. So by so as we were talking about black pepper, I just sort of searching for black pepper only. Now here, this thing that you're seeing in this text which you're seeing in blue color, this is meta title, and all this which you're seeing here, this is all meta description. So the text in gray color which you're seeing down below here, let me just select that. So this is meta description and that is meta title. Now, if you are not adding this information, then obviously your chances of appearing on the first page are relatively low. It is an extremely important point or important piece of information that you should add. It is not displayed on the front end of your website, but has a big impact on how the search engine is indexing your information and how it is going to present the information when someone is looking for your product or services. So that's where it is crucial that you should add meta title and meta description. Now, this is where again, very quickly, I'm going to switch my screen. And why? Because people don't know where all they have to add meta title and description. So I'll very quickly share with you where all you can add meta title and description. So there are so many tabs. All right, so this is the control panel of a demonstration store. Now, a lot of people just assume that we have to type or we have to add meta title and description in the products only. That is obviously one place, but there are other places also where you have to input that. So on each page which is there on your website, other than like my account or cart page, obviously there's no need for that because they are not indexed by search engines. Also, on every other page, you have to add meta title and description so that search engines can index it properly. And when it is indexed properly, they're able to display the results properly. Now, again, I can imagine that all this indexing jargons that I'm using are a little technical for you to understand. So let me help you understand with a real life example. Now, all of us visit pharmacy stores, right? Now, how and we give them a prescription or we tell them that we need this paracetamol or something, right? And the person will go in the shop and they'll go to a particular shelf and they'll pull out a box, and from that they'll take out the strip of the medicine and they'll give it to us. Now, how are they able to do that? Because they have indexed all the medicines, so they know that in this shelf, in this section, paracetamol is there, and in this particular box it is there. So if someone is asking for paracetamol, we have to pull out this box and then give the medicine to the customer. So that is similar to how the Google or search also do. So they will also crawl all your website's information and put it into a box. Not if, like, I'm just giving an example, not an actual box. They'll also put it somewhere there on their server. Now, with this information, that indexing will be correct. So if the indexing is correct, they'll be able to pull it out and display when someone is asking for black pepper or something that you deal in. All right. So that is important, because if they haven't done the indexing, just imagine if the pharmacist or the chemist hasn't placed boxes or the medicines in a proper order, they'll not be able to display the correct, or they'll not be able to give the correct medicine. They may have like 1,000 boxes in their shop, and they know that if the person is asking for a paracetamol, if the person is asking for kerosene, then which box do we have to pull? They know that. So similarly, you have to help Google so that they are indexing it properly, and someone is asking for black pepper, then your results are getting displayed. So that is why it is important. Now, coming back to what I was wanting to show you. So, as I mentioned, adding this information is important. Now, for products, one of the easiest way in which you can add this information is by using this file, which is download products. So if you download this file, there are columns for meta, title, and description. You can add that. So I'll just very quickly download this file. Just give me a quick couple of seconds to do that. So the file is getting downloaded. Yes, it is downloaded. Let me just quickly open it. Right. So this is the file. Let me just zoom in a little bit so that the fields are bigger. So here you can see the meta, title, description, and keywords. These are the three columns. Now, meta, title, and description are important. Keyword is not important because search engines have stopped giving them weightage. So this is where you can see meta, title, and meta description. So this is fairly easy because it is Excel. You can copy paste or you can use formulas as well, and you can create meta. You can input the meta information, and then you can come back here and you can upload it. If you want to update it manually, then you can click on edit, and you can scroll down. This is where you have meta title and meta description. So you can add it manually or you can add it in bulk. This is related to the product, and obviously product is the core because that's where the action is happening. That is what is going to be searched and discovered. People are not going to find you by your business name. They are going to find you by the product, right? So that is obviously the most crucial and most important part. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned earlier, that you have to add this information across every page which is there on your website. How do you go about doing that? So the most important page is the home page of your website. For that, you have to go to store settings and then store details. And that's where you'll see here we have page title is meta title, and then we have meta description and keyword. So this is for the home page. Now comes the category pages. So for category pages, we have to click on my store, and then we have to click on navigation, and that will show the navigation. So for example, we want to add meta information, so fashion, apparel, and accessories. And for that, we have to click on edit. And if we click on advanced, that's where the fields are revealed: meta title, keyword, and description. So you can add them here. So this is for category pages. Now you may have also created a page, content page like about us, our company, etc. Can you add information, meta information to that? Yes, certainly you can do that. So for that, you can click on pages in the left navigation. And here, for example, we have about us, and I want to add the meta information, meta title, and description to it. I can do that. So here we have fields for meta title and description. All right. Now, the important points which I want you to remember is that it is a crucial piece. And with that medicine or chemist shop example, I hope you are all able to relate to why it is important for that indexing to work properly. Right. Now, it is crucial piece of information, and it has to be added on each and every page which is there on your website, right? No page should be missed out, right? That should be your motto. That should be your mission, that no page should be missed out. Every page should have meta title and description. And obviously, you can use the AI tools to create this, and when the AI tool is creating it, it will consider, or it will take into the consideration the guidelines which are there. So meta title should not be more than 60 characters, and meta description should not be more than 150, 55 characters. So it will obviously take that into consideration. All right. Now, I absolutely agree that meta title and description, the name itself looks technical and it looks very intimidating. And if you're not from the technology space, it is certainly very confusing looking and technical sounding thing, right? How do yeah, you create this one? So the first point that I would want to share with you, it is not technical. So even if AI tools were not there, you can just do a 5-minute research on Google and you'll be able to understand how to write meta title and description. It is not a very complex thing. Obviously, it requires some keyword research, etc., to happen, which AI tools does for you. But in today's day and age, because AI tools are there, so you can easily get this created. Like in matter of minutes, you'll be able to create the meta title and description for the entire website very, very easily. All right. So this was something I wanted to share with you, and obviously why it is so crucial. Not adding information about your about in your export, not adding information in about your export. What does this mean? So for that, if I can quickly switch my screen, and this is for exporters. So if you have created your digital catalog, you have something called about your export. So this is part of your seller panel. This is the section which is currently getting opened up. But before we go into the section, if I can quickly take you back and I open Indian Business Portal very quickly. I'll just open any of the product. My internet is a little slow today, so please bear with me on that. Because we are discussing spices, let's look at one of the spice product only. Right, so this is the profile of this particular exporter on Indian Business Portal, and this is the place where about your export information that you have added on the seller panel. This is the place where it gets displayed. All right, so if I'm going back to this section on the seller panel, this is where you have to input all the information. Again, there is not like a rocket science, is not a very complicated piece of information that you have to input. So you have to specify whether you're a few member or not. Do you have an IC code? What is the legal entity type you are established? What type of business operations you are involved in? So whether you are a manufacturer or merchant, or you are doing the both things, then select both of them as well. And then you have to specify what is your export turnover, countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to, number of employees do you have. You must add license and certificate because it improves or it increases the credibility of your business. And then advantages of innovation is where you have to specify why should someone do business with you. So basic question, but you have to answer it here too. You have two big sections to answer that question. And then lastly, you have to specify whether you have to specify what type of proposals you are interested in receiving from the international buyer. So this is about your export. So not a very complicated thing, but you should input the fields or information properly so that it gets populated properly and the information is visible here. Now, this is where again I'm going a little sideways, but it is important for you to understand that when it comes to achieving that objective of receiving orders from or receiving inquiries from the internet for or digitally, there are broadly two problems that you have to solve. The first problem is kind of obvious: discoverability. People should be able to find you, right? That is the first challenge that you have to solve. The second challenge or the second problem that you have to solve is credibility. So, credibility basically means that when someone has found you, then obviously they are not meeting you in person and you cannot convince them. So the website that you have or wherever you have the information, for example, I was showing you the profile on Indian business portal. So the profile should be capable enough of convincing that person that it is a genuine entity, and without any concern or fear, you should proceed ahead to do business with you. Now, to make that happen, you have to firstly input all the information. You have to provide the content in a way that the person is able to understand and appreciate that it is a professional organization. In addition to that, you should input whatever certificates or awards, etc., which are available with you, so that they can understand about your business in a better way, and that credibility challenge your or the credibility problem you are able to solve. All right. So that is why this section is important, because you may have wonderful products, wonderfully priced product, and you have added all the right information, and there is a decent amount of traffic which is also coming to your website, right? People are coming to your website. It is not like that they are not coming to your website, but still you're not getting any leads or orders. This may be a reason. Credibility problem you have not solved. So even if you have solved discoverability problem and you have managed to bring people to your website or they are able to find you, if you have not solved the credibility problem, you will not get the results or the desired results, or you may get very limited success with that. That's where it is also important to present yourself as a genuine business, a credible business with whom any international buyer can do business with confidence, right? All right. So that was about adding the information about your export, not categorizing the products properly. Now, this is also something uh, which you should understand. Can have an impact. So, for example, again, going to that example wherein instead of uh, adding multiple products like individual items for spices, uh, you uploaded just Indian spices and imagined or uh, hoped that someone will find you and connect with you. Similar to that, instead of creating individual categories for different types of products. So, for example, you are dealing in agri products, and that's where you deal in spices as well as tea. Now, instead of creating different categories for spices and tea, you just created one agriculture category and you uploaded all of that. That is where, again, you are firstly compromising on the discoverability, and also you are compromising on the discoverability on Indian business portal. So on the Google also you are compromising. Obviously, you are compromising on the discoverability because you are not categorizing your products correctly. So, for example, there is someone who is looking for uh, let's say tea, and that's where you land them onto the agri products category, and that's where tea happens to be. For some reason it happens to be down below, and on the top you have all the fruits and all. So obviously what will happen, people will go away. You will have a high bounce rate. So bounce rate is basically people are coming to your website and they are like, oh, wrong website, going away. So those kind of things, and Google will notice that, okay, there's something wrong with this website. I'm sending the traffic but it is coming back. That means there's something wrong with this website. Let's not send traffic. So it will impact your discoverability as well, right? So it is not a very significant effort that you have to like create uh, when you are creating the navigation. Create it properly. That's where again, don't overdo it. Like for every product you are creating a navigation, that is also not advice. You should club the products together and then you should create the navigation, right? So both are bad. Underdoing and overdoing, both are bad. So you shouldn't overdo it and you shouldn't underdo it. Right. So navigation, the basic purpose of navigation, and this is where again, let me explain it with a real life example. So the basic purpose of navigation is to help anyone find your product. Right. So this is where just imagine that you're stepping into a very, very large, like 1 lakh square foot supermarket, and there are no signages, there are no signboards, and there is no staff available. to help you, to guide you, and you're looking for rice. You want to buy a stack of rice. So going every aisle, you have to go through each aisle, and only then you'll be able to find where the rice is located, and then only you'll be able to then buy the rice, which will not be a very nice experience, and probably you may not go there ever again. So the objective of navigation is to help a person who's visiting your website understand where should they go to see one type of product, right? So it should not be like you're creating a navigation for each product. In that case, what happens is the number of clicks increases. So if a person has to find your product, so again, real life example, a person comes, just imagine that you have a showroom, a garment showroom, and a person walks into your store. They have entered this, opened the door, and they have stepped in. Now, the moment they have entered the store, in how little interaction they can be at the billing desk and making the payment, right? So this journey from entering into the store to the billing desk, as small it is, the better will be your conversion, right? So person entering your website, opening your website, and sending you an inquiry or placing an order, the less number of clicks, the higher your possibility of getting leads and orders, right? So you have to reduce the number of clicks. Now, if you're creating navigation for each product, in that case, you can imagine how many clicks the person will have to just do to see all your product. In addition to that, the other disadvantage which happens, and a lot of people don't even realize that, is that the majority of browsing happens on what these days? Mobile phones. And on a mobile phone, if you have created like 50, 60 navigation, how will the poor fellow navigate through it? How will they scroll through it? This is where you're like killing yourself. You're doing something which is detrimental for your business and obviously for your business growth. So you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be creating a navigation for each and every product. And at the other end, like you're creating very less navigation. You're not categorizing the product. That is also harmful. All right. So you shouldn't do that. Now, how do you create navigation is something which I'll be explaining in few slides, because there's another slide related to navigation, not uploading logo. Now, this is where I've taken an example, and obviously I've like removed the uh, personally identifiable details so that you cannot. Obviously, the intent is not to like demean any business or to pinpoint that they have done this mistake. Obviously, that is not object, and I'll never do that. So this is where this is a website, and this is actually someone's website you're looking at. Now, just tell me honestly, will you do business with this website? Will you place an order on this website? Share your responses in the chat. Will you do it? What do you think? Will you do website? Yeah, no. Vinod, Kunal, Tushar, Varsha, all of us, unanimously, all of us are saying. Now, if you are not adding logo, this is what the international buyers will also be doing. So you must also ensure that when you're creating your digital catalog, whether you're creating a profile, everywhere, and profile is also something that we'll be discussing in detail a little later. So you should be adding logo. It is must. Now, there are businesses I know of, they had been operational for like 5 decades, 50, 60 years, but because they had been operational in the brick and mortar space, the physical space, so they never felt the need of having a logo, and they may not have a logo. And if you are someone who does not have a logo, no worries. There are so many tools available these days. Within matter of minutes, you'll be able to create a very beautiful logo for yourself. You can use Canva, or you can there are a lot of AI tools also available these days. I didn't find the AI tools very impressive. I personally tried a few of them. Canva is something that you can use, and there are so many pre-created templates you can use. You can very easily create a logo for yourselves, right? The important point is that you must upload the logo, because otherwise, there is absolutely no chance that you're going to get a lead or an inquiry with without uploading your logo, because that is obviously an identity. So the other person will either feel that this website is not yet complete, or they'll think that this person is not professional enough. They haven't even taken the effort of uploading the logo, right? So avoid doing that. Not uploading banner. This is another scene or scenario that you'll see. There's also a screenshot of someone's website. This is also an actual website that I've taken the screenshot. This where, and you're seeing the empty placeholders. So again, will you do business with this website? No logo, and just imagine that they had uploaded the logo, but there are no banners, and you can see empty placeholders there. Will you do business with this kind of website? Absolutely no. Unanimously, again, everyone is agreeing that obviously you will not do. And when you will not do, then how can you expect an international buyer who is sitting like thousands of kilometers away, and they obviously have been looking at much more professionally made websites. Obviously, they will not even, they'll immediately close the website just looking at it. All right, so that is another thing. Now, I'll very quickly switch my screen, and I'll very quickly show to you about the both the aspects. One was related to uploading the logo. How do you go about uploading the logo? In case you're wondering, you can go to store settings. You can click on store details, and this where you have the address tab. So you have to click on address here, and if you scroll down, this where you can upload the logo. So you can upload them here. This is where you can upload the fab icon. Now, with respect to uploading banners, you have to go to My Store in the left navigation, and then you'll see there's something called Store Preview. Once you click on it, it will open the store preview or the store owner's view. And from here, you can click on these yellow dots and you can upload the banners from here. Click here. Dimensions are written, so you can either create the banners in these dimensions or you can get them created using graphic designers, etc. And then you can click on the placeholder and you can upload, right? So those were two issues, and then not setting up the navigation. So this is where again I've taken a screenshot, and this is my own website. This is a demonstration website, and I've switched off the navigation so that to help you understand that this is also a real life scenario which can happen, that you have created beautiful looking website. It has a logo, it has a very beautifully designed banner. By the way, I created this banner using AI, right? So it is not like nothing I've created. I've just gave instruction to the AI, and it looks like a banner designed by a graphic designer, right? So you can create very beautiful banners using AI as well. Now, the point that I'm trying to convey is that there's nothing on the top. So how will someone navigate? You have to enable navigation. So how do you set up the navigation? So again, if we are very quickly going back to the seller panel in the My Store tab only, so click on My Store and you'll see something called navigation, and you can go there and set them up. So you can click on Add Menu Item, and you can input the name, and then you can select the products. You can individually, even you have the option, you can individually select the products, or you can use tags, or you can use category. If you have defined the category, you can select basis of category or tags or products. So you have to use one of the basis to select the product, and also use navigation to select pages. So for example, if you have created a about us page, so you can display that also using the navigation. We also have a tutorial video around navigation, or detailed tutorial video around navigation on our website, so on our YouTube channel. So if required, I can share that link to help you understand the navigation process in a better way, not adding content about your business. So this is again relating back to the credibility problem that we have to solve. So one problem is discoverability, which we have so far discussed. And if you do all the things, you'll be able to solve that discoverability problem. The other problem is about credibility. Someone finding you as a trustworthy business with whom they can do business with confidence, and for that you have to add content about your business. So and this is something that I had been telling everyone for years, or business owners for years, that at least create one page, about your business, right? So if you want to create more, that is very, very nice, but at least one page about your business. What is your background? And if there are any client stories or case studies that you have done, include that as well. So about yourself, about your company, how many employees, etc., do you have, and which type of clients, etc., you have served, right? Or if you are a startup, so a lot of time people say we are a startup, we don't have all those wonderful and engaging stories to tell. No worries, there's a mission that you are wanting to achieve, and this is your background. You can tell about yourself and the mission or the vision or the problem that you're trying to solve. You can create content around that. And another reply which I used to get earlier is that we don't have any content writers. Do you know any good content writers who can write this for us? Because our English is not that good. We'll not be able to write that ourselves. Now, that excuse is also not there, because now you have AI tools that can, like, you can give very basic inputs to AI tool and it will create a wonderful piece of content, SEO optimized piece of content for you, right? So please do create content. Please do add content about your business. At least one page about yourself, and try to add as much information as possible. That's where again you can consider adding all the relevant keywords, important ones. Don't over add them, right? Don't do keyword sandwiching or embedding too many keywords. You shouldn't do that. But whatever is relevant, one or two places you should add them, so that it is helping you with search engine optimization. But more importantly, it is helping you with solving the credibility challenge. All right. So that is under adding. Now, in case you're wondering how to add the content page or how to create the content page, so in the left navigation, My Store, and then click on Pages. And here you have various pages I've already created about us, but you can click on Add Page. You can give a page title, and you can input the content here. Now, in addition to adding the text content, you can add a table, you can add an image, you can also embed a video. You have to firstly upload it either to YouTube or Google Drive, and then you can input the link here, and you can also add a video. So if there's a video about your production facility or something, a social initiative or social cause that you're associated with, you can certainly add that video. That will add a lot of credibility and trustworthiness to your business. All right. So let's go back to the presentation. Now we are in business profile. So the first part of discussion, which is related to the digital catalog, we have completed that. Now we are going to business profile. Now I am going to switch my screen, and firstly, let me show you what is a business profile. So this is the demonstration store. We are looking at the seller panel. This is the profile side of it. Now here you see this is a business name Star Export, and this is their company profile. This is the individual's profile. Now I'll click on it so that we can get into the edit screen. And obviously it is a demonstration account, so it is not updated. But this is also crucial because this is also a piece of your digital presence, right? Now, I'll just take a moment, or we'll just step back for a moment. So, on the internet, on in the digital realm, as they say. So on the internet, everything that you have, whether it is your profile, whether it is your digital catalog or your Facebook profile or your LinkedIn profile, anything that you have, or on XYZ websites, whatever you have, all of your profiles, all of your properties should be optimized, right? So it should have all the correct information or all consistent information, right? So if you have described your profile or your business in a particular way on your website, the same should be on LinkedIn, the same should be on Global Linker, the same should be on Facebook or Instagram as well, right? So it should not be like two, three different stories, or if you're following a color scheme, or if you're following a brand if you're following brand colors, in that case you should follow it across. But relating to the discussion that we are having here today is that I've seen that businesses neglect, so they just focus on the website, like so very blindly they are focusing on the website, and they just neglect everything else. You shouldn't do that. Now coming to the Global Linker profile, why it is crucial? Because it is part of a community, or this profile is exposed to a community which has members from 150 countries. So God knows there may be someone who's wanting to buy or import products from India, which you are dealing in. And just because you haven't updated your profile, you may be losing out on that opportunity. And that shouldn't happen, right? So that's where you should update your profile as well. Now, we'll very quickly go back to the presentation and we'll try to understand what all things that you should be updating. The most important one is verifying your company. So if you have not verified your company, in that case, what will happen is that your company will not have the verified tag and it will not have the green tick. And obviously, when it will not appear as a verified company, whereas there are other businesses that are appearing as verified, obviously, an international buyer will go with the business that is appearing as verified as compared to yours. So please do verify your business. How do you verify? Click on company verification here, input your GST number and submit, and there will be a online verification, and after that your company will be verified. Very simple process. You must do that. The next one is not uploading logo, and this is your company logo. If you haven't uploaded, this where again we have discussed that, so no one will be doing business with you if you haven't uploaded the logo. Then click on edit. You can upload the logo from here. The next point is related to not selecting or uploading banner. Now this where you can see I've uploaded a banner on this profile, but if you want, if you don't want to upload, if you don't want to create, you don't want to get into all that creativity, you can also select the banner. So there are few banners that we have already created here. So there's a gallery from where you can select the banners and you can upload them. These are displayed based on the industry that you have selected. So please do upload the banner as well as logo. Not uploading the profile pic. So profile pic is your picture. So you should be uploading your profile picture. And again, AI tools to the rescue. So if you don't have a profile picture which is like looking like a proper photo shoot that you have got done on a studio, you can use any of your images, and there are AI tools that can help you convert that into a professional looking shoot. So you can do that. But important point to remember, and this is something that you may have heard also somewhere. This is a saying by one of the very popular motivational speaker, a very old motivational speaker. I think like he was. I think he was the first one as well, Zig Ziglar. You may have heard the name. So his proverb or his saying was that people do business with individuals whom they like, right? So humans do business with humans, right? It is not like you're doing business with a company or technology. It is two individuals, two human beings who have agreed to do business, and they may be representing a company, a different story, but it is between two human beings. So that is where if you want to have that connect, and this is where it applies here as well. Now, if I was not uh, uh, using the camera and I was just talking to you, just sharing the screen, you may not have been able to relate to it in the way you are able to do that, because you can see me and you can see my expressions and you can see my hand movements, etc. Right? So you are able to relate to it. So this is where understand humans connect with humans. So there is human connect is always important. So please do add your visuals, your profile picture, and then the next one is not adding your role description. So this is something that you should also add. So from the same edit, if you click on edit, on this overlay, you'll be able to add your own visuals. You can specify what is your designation in the company, and you can also add, or you must also add a role description. So this is again around the credibility challenge. So if someone is coming across your profile and they have seen you, so they can understand about you, what is your background and what do you do in this organization. So they are able to understand about you in a better way. And obviously, they will form a perception about you as well as your company, a positive perception. All right. So that was the role description. Not uploading about your company. So this is where we come here. Uh, This is where you have the information about your company. So all this information, like number of employees, your establishment, etc., etc. Sorry, this is your company description. This is, you click on edit, this will open up, and this is where you'll find the number of details that you have to input, like your tagline, your incorporation date, company size, etc., etc. Feed in or fill in as much information as possible, obviously giving uh, more information for a prospective to review and make an impression about your business. And in simple terms, in like without using any fancy jargons, everything, the objective is to impress the other person, right? The more information that you'll add, your chances of impressing the other person will be higher, right? So it is proportionately, the more you're sharing, obviously, because it is not like you're writing very long paragraph. This is structured information that you're sharing. The more information, the richer information that you're sharing, your chances of impressing the other person is more. And if the person gets impressed, he'll get leads and order. The next one, which will you will see in the slide as well, is around license and certificates. So it goes with your credibility challenge. The more evidences that you can provide that you are a genuine business, you are a trustworthy business, higher are the chances of you getting the business. So this where we'll break into the question answer round. So this where I will turn off the screen share. Now I will break into the question answer round. So let me just pull in the Q&A and chat windows back to the front monitor. All right, so very quickly, I'll go through the Q&As. So Rupe's question, because I was able to look at it and I answered it. So Rupe's question was, and this is the first question. So he asked about using ChatGPT or any AI tool for product description or product title creation. Yes, certainly you can do that. In fact, I have done webinars where I've explained how you can use AI tools. So if you go to our YouTube channel, Global Linkers YouTube channel, that's where you'll find the recording, or I've done a dedicated video also on how you can use AI tools to create a product title, meta description, or product description using AI tools. Next question is from James, and he's having a challenge with the product upload. So, James, there are two things that I'm going to suggest to you. Obviously, I'm going to share with you the links of tutorial videos which you can review to understand the bulk upload process. But other than that, I am also going to share my contact details in the chat. I'm sharing it with everyone, as also I'm going to chat it with you on a private chat. So please do drop me an email also with the link of your Airtel Catalog or the name of your business, so that I can review and I can also suggest to you what mistakes you may be doing, which is actually impacting your website, right? So I'll very quickly do that. Just give me a quick second to take out the video links and share it with you. So just give me a few seconds to do that as well. In the meantime, if you have any other question, please do feel free to add that. I will take, I'm going to take like a few more seconds. My internet is little acting up today. So it was fine earlier, but now I can see it is a little slow. So So I've chatted the links to James. I'm also sharing the links here in the chat with everyone. So these are two videos that I've shared. So one is for product upload, bulk product upload, and the second one is where I've explained how you can use AI tools. So you can review both the recording. Next one is from Rupesh, how to adjust the font size. So Rupesh, for that, you can change the font color, but you'll not be able to adjust the font size. For that, you must be knowing HTML coding. If you know HTML coding, then you'll be able to do that. So if you know HTML as CSS, then you will be able to do that. So you can go to theme editor, and from there you can do that. All right, so I can see there was one more request from James, and he wants the navigation video as well. So I will quickly take out the link and share it here. So this is our setting up navigation. Next question from L. Devigan, product COA. I'm not clear on this. I'll appreciate if you can drop me an email with the link of your website so that I can review and get back to you. I'm just sharing my email ID with you. Just give me a quick second. Next question from Aditi. Has any company got any foreign buyers? Certainly, there are many businesses that have. In fact, if you go to Indian Business Portal in the footer, you'll find there's a page called Resources, and that's where you'll find tutorial, a testimonial video of few of the exporters who have received orders or they have done business with international buyers through the data catalog. The next question is from Rupesh. Yes, certainly, Rupesh, we can do that. You can drop me an email and we can review your website and share with you what are the areas of improvements. Next question is from Mr. Faisal. Wants to understand where all do we have to put meta title and description. So Faisal, as a thumb rule, it has to be there on each page which is there on your website. There are few exceptions like cart or checkout page or my account page, which are obviously not indexed by Google because they don't belong to you or they don't belong to customers as well. So those are not indexed by search engines. But other than that, so all your pages, whether it is terms and condition or your about us pages, all your navigations and all your products and homepage should have the meta title and description. And on your homepage, because we are talking about this, let me also add on your homepage, you must be adding banners. So when you're adding banners, please do add alt text for the banners as well. That will also help with search engine optimization. Next question, Rupesh, what is SEO site verification? So you may have heard of there's this tool called Google Search Console. So Google Search Console is basically a Google's tool which you use to see your website's performance with respect to search engine optimization or indexing with Google, right? So how many pages are indexed, how many pages are not indexed, what are the core vitals, if there are any issues or not, or which terms are getting searched from which external websites you are getting the most traffic, etc. So all that information is available on Google Search Console. So to verify your website with Google Search Console, Google site verification or SEO site verification. Uh, Next question is from Manu. So Manu Bhutani. So the question is they're wanting to hire someone for setting up the website as well as managing it. So as such, they don't need to have any technical skills in terms of like software development skills. Those are not required. If they know Excel, and I'm not sure if you have a graphic design resource. Otherwise, in today's day and age, you don't need that. So if they know Excel, and again, they don't need to be an expert in Excel, like macros and all those are not required. Basic lookup, etc. They can do. That should suffice, right? So any graduate with some knowledge of Excel should suffice. Uh, the next question I can read is from Manu Bhutani again. Wants to understand, is there a playlist where the other webinars that we have conducted, those can be seen? Yes, there is. I will very quickly show you that. So, in fact, I'll show it to everyone. So let me just quickly open our YouTube channel and then I'll start the screen share where for a few quick seconds. And before that, I'll have to minimize the chat windows because otherwise it will keep blocking your view. So just give me a few more seconds. All right. So this is the Global Linkers YouTube channel. And if you scroll down, so this is where you'll see there is a playlist called past live streams. And this is where you'll see all the live streams. And underneath that, we have a dedicated playlist for Indian Business Portal. Underneath that, we have a dedicated playlist for ONDC. And underneath that, you have a dedicated playlist for tutorial videos. So you can review tutorial videos. You'll find this section very handy. So that's where we have about 48 videos about various aspects related to online store. And if you want to understand anything with Indian Business Portal, and these are the past live streams. In fact, if you come here on the top, also we have a live tab. So that's where you can go and you can see all the previous live streams that we have done. All right. So now I will share the link of our YouTube channel so that everyone can access it easily. You don't have to go and find it. Uh, Next question from Artidas, wanting to start a fashion jewelry business. So for that, you can create a little catalog. for that business on Global Linker, and you can certainly connect with other business owners who are part of the Global Linker platform through the business networking side of it, and then you can also be listed on ONDC in case you want to cater to the retail customer. There is a B2B side of ONDC that will be coming up in some time, and Global Linker is itself coming up with its marketplace called GL Bazaar, so you can also participate in that, and that's where that will also be a B2B marketplace, and that's where you can leverage all these opportunities to generate leads and inquiries for your business. Next question I can read is from Mr. Kronal. His question is interesting. He wants to understand whether after some time the platform becomes chargeable. So we will always be freemium. So freemium basically means the basic solution is available free, and which is currently, even today, that's the case. So the basic solution will always be free. It will be free forever, but there will always be a certain premium features that we have. So even today, like auto currency switcher is one of the premium features, or supply chain is a premium feature. So if you want to use those premium features, you can certainly upgrade, or you can continue to, or you can continue on the basic plan. Basic plan is also very feature packed. Next question from Pooja. So how do you find foreign buyers on Global Linker? So on Global Linker, you can either use the search feature, or you can use the add connection feature, and using that you can do a search. So for example, you are looking for businesses in different countries, you can do the search and you can see the businesses, and then you can connect with them, share with them about your business, and if they are interested to do business with you, they'll certainly respond, and then you can take the discussion forward. Next question. I think this was added by mistake, so I will move on. All right, so this is where I think that was the last question. So this is where we'll proceed ahead. Before closing the session, I am going to share my contact details once again with everyone. So if any one of you needs any help or assistance, especially if you're not sure if the digital catalog, the website that you have created, if it has certain issues, problems, etc., so you can reach out to me. Please do feel free to reach out to me. So we'll review it, and someone from my team will get back to you. All right. So I'm going to share my contact details again in the chat. So I can see there's a last question from Pooja. So Pooja, I'm sharing my email ID. If you can drop me an email with your profile and the digital catalog, I'll review it and I'll share my suggestions and inputs. All right. So thank you everyone for taking out time and participating in this session. Have a wonderful evening ahead. I hope you found the session informative. Bye-bye from our side for now.